Let's kick the energy up a little bit tonight. The Elks are on a 2-game winning streak, and where's that left them? A must-win game against Nathan Rourke and the BC Lions, but the Elks are still alive in the playoff picture on this Friday night. But inside Edmonton, BC, we don't need sugar. We're ready. Friday Night Football, let's go.
Let's go.
Here are Nathan Rourke's career averages versus the Edmonton Elks. Over 5 starts, he has 357 yards and nearly 3 touchdowns a game. Rourke simply slings it against Edmonton. And if he does tonight, well, he's going up against Tyrell Ford and the Edmonton Elks defense, which have 6 takeaways combined over the last 2 games. And you really feel if Edmonton's going to get another crucial win, they're going to need big plays out of their defense tonight. Welcome back inside the studio, everybody. Part 2 of Friday Night Football. Matthew Shea alongside Enoch Mwamba, David Sanchez, and Milt Stiegel. Ches, we talk about matchups so often on Friday Night Football. It's kind of a cliche, but tonight, given how important this game is, and given the way that Nathan Rourke has played against the Edmonton Elks, what matchups are critical this evening?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about trying to, combat the offense of the BC Lions with scoring and try to match the points. They're going to put up points. They're going to score 40. But I also think what I've seen with this Edmonton offense, they can score points. If they can protect Cody Fajardo, they have a shot. Because their run game is there. If they protect, I think they can score some points. And that's the key to me. Can Cody Fajardo in this offense match scores or at least close with this potent BC Lions offense?
Yeah, for me, as you mentioned, Cody Fajardo, he's going to have to match it. But for him to match it, it's going to take the Rankin foul, Justin Rankin. They're going to have to get him going. And the one guy who's going to try to slow him down is Micah Awe, one of the biggest hitters in the CFL. So I'm excited to see what happens when those guys, two guys meet up. Of course, Rankin can beat you in so many ways. He can come out of the backfield catching the ball. But they're going to have to try to run him 20, 25 times this game if they want to have an opportunity to win, Enoch.
I don't know, guys. I don't know if it's a matter of matching the scoring that Nathan Rourke is inevitably going to have tonight. And this offense is potent. You talk about it, Chaz, but you don't want to be in a shootout with Nathan Rourke. You got to limit his production, but this defense has to show up. I'm looking at this defensive line, Barlow, Brinkman, Williams, and Taylor. They have to show up. You look at their last game, they only had 1 sack, but they make the opposing quarterbacks uncomfortable, and that's what they have to do.
We want to see Edmonton in the playoffs.
I do.
Yeah, I do. I'm not going to lie.
Milt wants to see Edmonton in the
I want to see
playoffs.
Edmonton in the playoffs, definitely. I'm not going to lie about that.
All credit to Mark Killam, what he's done with Edmonton, but the fact is this: they need to win tonight to stay alive. Kickoff after this.
Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation, manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back.
Julie Lee of Edmonton, this is your chance to win big thanks to Save On Foods' $1 million touchdown to win. If a kickoff is returned for a touchdown, you can win groceries for a year. If 2 kickoffs are returned for touchdowns in this game, you could also win $1 million. Good luck, Julie. Now off to BC Place. It's Dustin Nielsen and Glenn Sue.
The second half of our Friday Night Football doubleheader brings us to the West Coast for a game with major playoff implications for both teams. The red-hot BC Lions look to move 1 step closer to a home playoff date, and on the other side, for the Edmonton Elks, another must-win situation with veteran quarterback Cody Fajardo leading the way.
Yeah, it's one of the main reasons that the Elks are still in the playoff fight at this point. It's the steady hand and leadership of number 7, Cody Fajardo. 6-3 in his last 9 starts, hasn't thrown an interception in the last 6 games. With 10 out of his 14 starts this year over 300 yards and almost 500 yards rushing, Nathan Rourke is a front runner to win the league's MOP award. However, Kid Canada just wants to secure home field.
After a 5-7 start, Buck Pierce has won 4 in a row. His BC Lions looking to remain red hot, hold on to second spot in the West. Mark Killam's club They've been outscored 63-28 in 2 head-to-head matchups this year against the BC Lions. But these two clubs have the best record since week 9 in the Canadian Football League, and we are underway. Edmonton won the coin toss. They decided to take the football. Thank you very much for joining us here from Vancouver, and Javon Leake will get us started trying to find that 40-yard line on the far side of the field. And our first look at Cody Fajardo.
Completed 75% of his passes as the starter in Edmonton, and I mentioned just the positive, steady leadership style that comes from Cody Fajardo. I think that's been the main reason that this team has turned it around and is still in the fight for a playoff spot.
Best touchdown interception ratio in the league at 4-1, and it was against the BC Lions in week 6 that they transitioned from Ford to Fajardo. Since then, Fajardo is 6-5, and he's going to start over the middle, down the field, right to the BC 50. Quick hitter to Gittens Jr., and the Elks offense off and running.
Seam over here, and that's just a quick curl right over the middle to get things started. And that deep seam to the right of your screen, you don't see it, but that's what holds the safety, Jackson Finley, from making a play on that deep ball over the middle. 21-yard gain to get things started for Edmonton.
Fajardo just 13 of 24, 142 yards of touchdown last week. Good start here for him. They'll hand it off to Rankin. Rankin finds a little bit of space. Got a first down on the first touch of the game. And boy, if they can get him going, could be a big night for the Edmonton offense.
Brand new contract extension, well deserved, and a player who leads the league in yards from scrimmage. And coming off another big game in the win against Winnipeg. Maybe the biggest play of that game, the long touchdown on 3rd and 2 early on.
I was stunned that they snapped it. And then, of course, he takes it all the way to the house. Edmonton 6-3 in their last 9. 2 of those 3 losses, walk-offs. Outside of that, they've been playing pretty good. Fajardo, far side, looking for Julian Grant, but he misses it. Let's take a look at this Edmonton offense.
Yeah, I've been real impressed with Carter O'Donnell up at right guard out of the University of Alberta. Just his 5th start, and he is playing very well up there. He's going to probably face a little of Matthew Betts. More on that as the game goes on. And there he is, Justin Rankin, leading the league coming into this week in yards from scrimmage. Can beat you in a lot of ways.
Needed 24 yards coming into this game for a 1,000-yard season. Got 12 on that first carry. He's a dozen away. 2nd and 10 for Fajardo. Throwing situation. Spins out of it and basically just has to throw it away with some pressure in his face. And that will bring up 3rd and 10 and a field goal attempt for Vincent Blanchard.
Yeah, not surprised that the Elks and Mark Killam, when they won the toss, took the ball. They certainly don't want to give the ball to Nathan Rourke the way this offense has been going in BC, and then be chasing the scoreboard all game long, starting out of the first drive. But field goal will get them an early lead, and Nathan Rourke comes on the field next series.
Blanchard struggled a bit last week, had been red hot before that. This is from 44 yards to get Edmonton on the board, and he misses it. McGee will grab it and bring it out of the end zone. 7 McGee returns it just beyond the 10. Ball pops out. BC is on it, though, and they will have it at the end of the play. It looked like Bell was able to scoop it up. Nathan Rourke has been absolutely on fire as of late, putting together what some would call MOP caliber season. BC Lions coming off a bye week, but when we last saw Nathan Rourke, he was absolutely picking apart the Calgary Stampeders.
Season high 414 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. That's his 2nd 400-yard passing game. As mentioned off the top, 10 of his 14 starts this year, over 300 yards passing. And while they were in the bye week, most of the media across the country ranked them #1.
Rourke hit as he throws, near side, finds his running back, James Butler. And Butler is tackled short of a first down.
pretty nice when everyone's ranking you the #1 team in the league when you're on a bye. Yeah. But it's just been the last month and a half for this Lions team. When their defense started to catch up, this team became that contender because the offense was doing its thing all season long.
2nd and 5 for Rourke, and this BC offense will move a couple of weapons over in the slot to his left. He's going to look in that direction, dumps it off to Butler, who hauls it in again, tracked down by Mogensen, and that'll bring him 3rd down. He's short again.
Cody Fajardo should have very good field position. The special teams challenge for the Lions here is Javon Leaks back there, and he's due. You know, and when you have a guy that has the acceleration that he has and ability to turn a quick punt return into a big play, directional kicking and a good cover unit, it's going to be the challenge for the Lions tonight.
Carl Meyer averaging 49.1 yards per punt. This one end over end is going to bounce right at midfield. It's a 2-hopper. Leak takes it after a 45-yard kick. Nowhere to go on the return, but still good field position for the visitors. We'll have more on Justin Rankin when we return to the West Coast. Welcome back to Vancouver. I don't want to simplify it too much, but get the ball to Justin Rankin and good things happen.
That is 100% true, and it certainly did against the Bombers. I mean, Edmonton, to keep their playoff hopes alive, have beaten Saskatchewan and Winnipeg. That's the big 3rd and 2 play where he took it to the house. And Mark Killam was quite open about their situation, and we may see some decisions that fly against conventional wisdom.
He had 12 yards on his first touch. This one back to the line of scrimmage and no further against the BC Lions defense.
Yeah, I said Carter O'Donnell at the guard position in the O-line for Edmonton may face Matthew Betts in this game because Mike Benavides is moving him around, playing a lot of different spots, and wow, is he on a roll. Leading tackler in the league is Micah Awe at 107 so far and counting, and Jackson Finley's in his 3rd start. The first 2 had an interception in each one of them.
What a way to start his career. 16th overall pick in 2025 out of Western University. 2nd and 9. Rankin to the left of Fajardo. Lions set 4. Fajardo gets it away and unable to get back to it is O.J. Hilaire, and it'll be a quick 2-and-out for Edmonton.
Boy, that's a tough throw to make for Cody Fajardo. Looked like he may have hit his hand on the follow-through. He was deep in the pocket, and it was starting to collapse on him a little bit. He might need to get a trainer. Look how deep in the pocket he is, and it's starting to collapse. There's bodies everywhere. I think he hit his teammate on the follow-through in the helmet.
Getting a quick look at his thumb and the tablet next to Trey Ford there. Julian, who's averaging just over 50 yards per kick, hangs a high one way up there. McGee waits and takes it just inside the 15. 44-yard kick. Nowhere to go on the return with 9.5 minutes remaining here in a scoreless first quarter on a beautiful Friday night in Vancouver.
Big game on Friday. We will be at 13. Perfect. It'll be rain, so the bowl will be covered. You'll be nice and covered. Just bring your little winter coats. It's an open-air stadium, but it's going to be a great game. Hope to see you all there.
Great job.
Nice job.
Great job from James Butler on the weather. I've done a lot of things in broadcasting. I've never done a weather on television like that.
You never talked about the cold front?
No.
We'll have to make that happen somehow.
I'd like to welcome everybody who's joining us on TSN 1, 3, and 5 after the Bombers squeak one out against the Riders. 17-16 the final over there. We are still scoreless here at BC Place.
And the logjam for the basically 3 teams and 2 playoff spots left. That logjam continues with the Bomber win.
I'm here for the madness of the 4-way tie. That would be something. Second possession of the ball game for the BC Lions. They went 2-0 on their first one. 2nd and 4 here for Rourke. Big hit, but a big catch. Held on to by McInnes, but he paid the price going over the middle there, didn't he?
He did pay the price, but hung on to this because the hit is coming inside. The timing on the throw, it's wraparound route on the linebacker. Shaylin Garnes, the safety, steps up. The timing is excellent on the hit, but Justin McInnes hangs on.
First catch of the game for McInnes goes for 13 yards. Rourke from the 40, far sideline, and he finds Hatcher. And Keon Hatcher has his 91st catch of the season. Here is a somewhat confusing updated look at the playoff picture.
Hey, I've never seen it before, I don't think, in this tight of a race where there are basically 2 playoff spots left. 3 teams battling to get there, and there could be a tie. And when we're not even talking about home field yet in the West. But here's the bottom line for Mark Killam. They got to win or they're out.
Have to find a way to get it done. Tough task against a BC team that's lost 4 in a row. Rourke somehow stays on his feet. Down the field. That was almost intercepted. Oh, my goodness. Rourke survives, finds Hatcher, pops out. Garnes almost got it. In the end, incomplete pass. We'll do it again.
Wow, where do we start here? First of all, how did Nathan Rourke escape? Because he was caught in the backfield. Clean off the edge. It was
Deblanco, yep.
He beats that tackle. Finds Hatcher, who almost makes a spectacular catch. That's a live ball. Garnes has a chance at it. He drops it. And like you said, we're back to 2nd and 10.
All of that for nothing. There's a flag here. Rourke has that one batted down. This is against Edmonton.
Offside. Edmonton number 4. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
This offensive line's only allowed 18 sacks for BC. That's a huge improvement over last year, and they get 2 all-star caliber tackles back in Jarrell Broxton and Dejan Allen off the injured list after the bye. And there is the leading receiver in the Canadian Football League in Keon Hatcher.
So after that penalty against Edmonton, 2nd and 5. Certainly don't want to be doing BC any favors here. Edmonton shows some pressure, only sends 4. Rourke down the field, wide open, drops it into McInnes. McInnes inside the 20, stays on his feet, down inside the 10, box out. J.J. Ross is on it. What's the call going to be here? Edmonton ball. A defense that has found a way to take the ball away the last couple of games comes up with a big play here. McInnes was a big gain, and Ross just straight up takes it away from him.
Plays, trips into the boundary. That's Justin McInnes on the route. He's going to run this bender that he does so well. Already caught one in the big hit. He catches it clean. It's not like he was loosey-goosey with the ball. I mean, he is protecting it on that hit, but J.J. Ross just rips it out of his hands. That's a great defensive play at the end of the route to continue with it. Not give up, even though McInnes had made a big play.
That is the 2nd fumble of the season for Justin McInnes, and the 2nd forced fumble of the year for J.J. Ross, and that best turnover ratio in the league improves by 1. Edmonton at +10. BC Lions now dropping to -9. Big swing in those 2 departments. Edmonton's drive starts on the 9. They'll give it to Javon Leak, who's in the game, and he's tackled immediately. And taken down on the play by Tibo Dubaye.
Yeah, that's one of the, that giveaway takeaway. If you look at the last couple of games, 2 wins for Edmonton. That's been their biggest improvement. 6 takeaways in those 2 wins. And it's not like that was a fumble by Justin McInnes. That wasn't a fumble or mistake by McInnis. That was a defender making a play and ripping the ball out for J.J. Ross. Got 3 interceptions on the season. That's a nice forced fumble. Get the ball back. Take points off the board, potential points.
Got a member of Edmonton's offense. That's O'Donnell, who was getting looked at. Trying to shake out that
bit of a stinger, maybe?
Right wrist as he walks off the field. He's been a great addition.
Big boy.
Help solidify an offensive line that's been pretty good at opening up space for Justin Rankin. Not as good at protecting their quarterbacks. Cody Fajardo sacked 34 times coming into this one. Second down here, Fajardo from his own end zone. Has to get out of there. He's up and he's going to be taken down. Should be a safety, and it is. BC Lions defense scoring points here, putting them on the board.
Just great pressure up front. There's the stunt right there to take the gaps, and who gets home? I believe Ben Halata gets close.
That is Haladic.
He goes right down that A gap between center and guard. Haladic starts right here, and then he's going to loop around, and when he does, confuses that offensive line for a split second, and that's all it takes.
Tavai in there as well at the feet of Fajardo. They do give Haladic the sack and the safety. And the BC Lions take a 2-0 lead, courtesy their defense.
And we'll get the ball back.
So after a turnover on a nice play by J.J. Ross, but a turnover by McInnis, they get points, and now they will get the ball back.
And Gregor McKellar, who you just saw Cody Fajardo go and tap on the shoulder, he had come in for Carter O'Donnell, and that's exactly where the stunt happened.
Blanchard boots it away. McGee takes it at his own 25. McGee finds a little bit of room, finds midfield now, cuts it back inside, and just like that, instant field position for Nathan Rourke and the BC offense.
2 good returners. We say that a lot. Canadian Football League, special teams so important. Seven McGee has a 82-yard kickoff return, a 93-yard punt return for a touchdown this season, and that's a big one to give Nathan Rourke great field position.
Averaging 24 yards on kick returns. That was a big one. First and 10 from the Edmonton 51 for Rourke. Butler out to his right. Rourke looks down the field, trying to find Andrew. Too much juice on it, and it falls incomplete. Let's take a look at this Edmonton defense.
Well, up front, Noah Taylor's been playing well over the last month, and we'll see a rotation there because Robbie Smith is again healthy and back in the lineup. He will rotate with Noah Taylor. Back in the back end, Kenneth Logan, last 3 games, has had an interception in each one of them, so he's making some big plays in the linebacking core. And then how about big plays? They can play Cordell Jackson probably at quarterback, and he'll have a great game. He is making plays all over the field.
Had that big special teams touchdown last week for Edmonton. 9 knockdowns on the year and an interception. Second and 10 for Rourke. Deep drop here over the middle, looking for Berryhill. Incomplete, working against Kenneth Logan. Got his hands on it, but couldn't haul it in, and that's the second 2 and out of the ball game for the BC Lions, and they're going to have to punt it away.
Yeah, big stop. Considering what just happened, that's a big stop by the Edmonton Elks defense, too. Couple of incompletions, one on just the ball a little bit overthrown on the first down. That one Berryhill should have had, but again, just a few inches off his fingertips. But a good stop by Edmonton after giving up the 2 points on the safety.
Yvonne Leake waits back at his own 10. Meyer kicks it away from Leake. And And that one will drop out of bounds, and a flag on the play.
That's just because it went out of bounds just in front of the 15-yard line. Missed kick by about 2 yards.
Yeah, they've got it marked at the 16, so he just missed that one.
Illegal punt out of bounds. BC, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Tom Valesi calling the shots here for us tonight. That'll move the ball up to the 26-yard line, just a net of 25 yards on the swing.
How good has number 90 been for the BC Lions?
I think we were doing a game together when it's like, Matthew Betts hasn't really had a big game yet this year, and then he's just gone supernova since then.
10 sacks in the last 4 games. 10.
Fajardo looking to his left, throwing to his left, way down the field. Got it. No, incomplete. Victor didn't hang on, and now he looks banged up.
Benjamin Victor sells out for this, and Ronald Kent is in coverage. I mean, he's the inside slot on the deep ball here. A little bit of an outside stem, and then he's going right down inside the numbers, and he lays out to get it, lands on the shoulder. He's got to survive contact with the turf and maintain possession to make this a catch. He's got it there. Kent's still working at it, but when he hits the ground, it pops out.
Good job by Kent. Had that hand right on the ball, too, as they came down. This might be a good look at it.
That shoulder and head came down pretty hard on the turf.
He landed hard, didn't he? He's still down just inside the BC 35. They've rolled him over onto his back. The rookie out of Ohio State. He's caught 75% of the balls thrown in his direction, and laid out to try to haul that one in. Would have been highlight reel stuff.
Yeah, really did have to just sort of completely sell out to go get it, and then landed awkwardly on the shoulder, and the head hit pretty hard too. 11th start in a row for Victor. Is still looking for his first explosion play. That would have been it. That's a play over 30 yards for a receiver. His longest on the season, 23, but as you mentioned, that catch to target ratio, excellent.
Yeah, he's done a good job hauling in 3 out of every 4 thrown in his direction, and did everything he could on that one. Hit the turf hard. Played well by Ronald Kent Jr. as well at the end of that play. And he's up, he's walking off.
Yeah,
winded for sure. 2nd and 10 for Fajardo, who started this game 1 of 5. 4 incompletions in a row after a 21-yard strike to get this game going. 3 options out to his left. Fajardo, quick hitter. Julian Grant's got it, and he's going to have a first down. His first catch of the ball game.
Yeah, good overall play for Julian Grant and Cody Fajardo, and just these benders over the middle are becoming pretty popular for both teams. Unless that was a little bang route, faking like he was going to run the out and then bending it over around the linebackers for Julian Grant.
$17 on the play to Julian Grant. 1st and 10 from the Edmonton 43. Fajardo fakes the handoff to Rankin. Goes deep over the middle again. No man's land. And it falls incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, was that intended for the over, the under? There's an over, and then there's a post behind it, and the ball ends up kind of right in between the two. Not sure if the pocket was collapsing a little bit, little play action fake. There's the crossing route. You see the post in behind it, and it kind of lands right in the middle.
Well, he had Hilaire. Went over Hilaire's head. So, yeah, maybe he was looking for Julian Grant further down the field. Either way, he's got to find 10 yards again. BC only sends 3. Fajardo still feels that heat. Gets away from it. Now he's going to take off. Cody Fajardo trying to use his legs. There's a flag as he slides for a first down, but there is a flag, and it is a hold, and it is coming back against Edmonton. Martez Ivy is arguing this call.
Edmonton number 62. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. Second down.
The guy arguing is often the guilty party. And when these plays extend, I think Ivy was fine at the beginning of this play. And if the timing on the play works, there's no penalty here. He's fine here. He's fine. And then as Fajardo beats this tackle, gets outside, now the holding happens up at the top to the left corner of your screen, and that's where the flag came out.
2nd and 20 for Fajardo. Steps up in the pocket with just a two-man rush. And now Cody's going to take off. Pressure coming from behind. He'll get wrapped up and taken down by Ronald Kent Jr. And Edmonton will be forced to kick it away after just 5 when they needed 20.
Coach Benavides just digging into that defensive scheme playbook. Going with two-man pressure, dropping everybody else into coverage, and forcing Cody Fajardo to say, no, those windows down there are too tight. I'm going to take off and run.
High kick from just inside his own 30. McGee waits, takes it cleanly at the 15, a 62-yard kick. There's a flag as McGee is upended just outside the 20. Well, it's been a heck of a season for Keon Hatcher. He's in some very elite company. There's no doubt about that. For more on this, let's send it down to Blake Price.
One catch already today, guys, for 15 yards, that much closer to a record he's been thinking about for over a year now. That is Geroy Simon's Lions club record of 1,856 receiving yards in a season. He did the math rather easily right off the top of his head. He knows he needs 170 yards coming into this game in each of the last 2 in order to get there. And that's just the kind of guy he is, to know that math right off the top of the head. He's a student of the game. He is football. Says after football practice, comes home to play football with the son after that. Football on the gaming machine, then maybe watching football if it's on. If Geroy's record ever does fall to Hatcher, guys, he would be in good hands.
A real football junkie, eh, Keon Hatcher?
No question, and a high football IQ. I mean, it doesn't matter if we're talking to Nathan Rourke, we're talking to Buck Pierce, their head coach. They always bring up the football IQ for Keon Hatcher. And he is going to be a coach when he's done playing, but I think he's got lots of years left to go after Geroy.
Keeps playing like this, no doubt. They'll hand it off to Butler. Butler, his best carry of the ball game, just his second. But this is a big one. That's a first down and plenty more.
Yeah, for the Elks defense, the storm front is coming from James Butler. He hits it off the right side of the offensive formation here. Just a nice hole and blocked up on that right side by Dejon Allen. Tell you what, it's an outstanding run for James Butler. Get him out of the hole. There he goes.
Right back to Butler again. DeBlanco hangs on to him again. Got some help that time from Brandon Barlow as time ticks down here, nearing the end of the first quarter.
2 games against Edmonton. Early in the season, those 2 games, by the way. 39 carries, 239 yards, and a 6-yard average for James Butler. I mean, one of the reasons that Nathan Rourke hasn't lost to Edmonton in his time as a starter is because he's got nice balance with James Butler.
Rourke 5-0 against Edmonton in his career. 9-0 against Alberta. Quick pressure, that is up. Cordell Jackson makes the tackle on Katoy, and that will bring up 3rd down, and BC will be forced to kick it away again.
Boy, good that everyone jumped up. Because that was the hot throw. Basically a blitz beater. You're in man-to-man in behind it. Edmonton sent the house. Toy jumped right back up.
Meyer punting it again. Final play of the quarter. Leak has to take a couple steps back. Grabs it just inside the 30. 50-yard kick. Now Leak, far side, finds the 40. And that'll do it for the opening quarter. Both offenses shut out in the first quarter. All we have on the board is a safety. BC Lions at home leading Edmonton 2-0 after 15 minutes. Second quarter action coming up here in Vancouver. The BC Lions leading 2-0. Edmonton missed a field goal in that opening quarter. Shut out through 15 minutes, but I have to feel like they're okay with where they are right now.
Oh, I think you'd be happy with where they are right now. You're on the road. You're against Nathan Rourke in this offense that has put up big numbers over the last month and a half. And defensively, J.J. Ross with a big strip from Justin McInnis, taking that ball and some potential points off the board there. Yeah, I think you're on the road. You're Edmonton. You got to win this football game. I mean, you want to keep it close, one possession going into the fourth and try to steal it on the road.
This drive will start on their own 41. Fajardo just 2 of 7 for 38 yards in this game and just 2 carries for Rankin. Here's a third one. Can he find a way through? No. Didn't even get back to the original line of scrimmage. Probably lost a yard on that play with Dwayne Hendricks clogging up the middle.
You know, you mentioned it. It seems simple to say, at least on first down, number 5 needs to touch the ball. And if you look at the numbers, the 7 wins they've had, you know, 93 yards rushing per game versus the losses where that has dropped and the touches dropped.
Got to find a way to keep him involved. Fajardo, the BC sending 4, steps up in the pocket, down the field, and he's got Gittens just outside the BC 50. That's Gittens' second catch of the ball game. This one goes for 18. His first one went for 21.
Rush-wise, nothing special from the Lions there. They basically go with four-man rush. But, you know, Fajardo negotiating, stepping up, and allowing Gittens to run that deep out route. That's a deep route. Takes some time to get there. You need protection.
This time Rankin met immediately. Now trying to find some space, spins ahead. Got about 2 yards out of what probably should have been a loss.
Well, clearly the BC Lions got the memo on what Justin Rankin has been doing over the last few games. And they are flying around getting after him.
By the time he got that ball, there was 2 lines standing right in front of him.
Exactly. They are cued in, which is why Edmonton is trying to go with some play action and maybe haven't given the ball to Rankin as many times as we normally see.
Julian Grant at the top of your screen. O.J. Allaire at the bottom. Fajardo looks to the left, takes off. Now he's on the run, throws it, has Gittens again inside the 25, down inside the 20 before the tackle is made. Gary Peters in on that, and Fajardo got that one away just in time.
Yeah, a couple of times now Fajardo has negotiated the pocket and stepped up into it. Now the tricky part here for Fajardo is, first of all, he's got to keep his eyes upfield, which he does. He finds his receiver. Now he's got to know where the line of scrimmage was, because if he steps over it, it's an illegal pass.
Third catch of the game for Gittens. He's already up to 72 yards on the play. It was Peters and TJ Lee in on the tackle. There's an injured BC Lion down on the field. I think this might be Levi Bell. And as they look at Levi Bell, we will step away in Vancouver.
Sounds cliche, but tell me, would you wait for me?
Well, big announcement this week. MGK will be your Bud Light halftime show performer. Pretty good musical lineup. Grey Cup week.
I did a survey with my kids and their friends. They love this idea. They are excited about this.
I said on multiple broadcasts, that song is pretty catchy. Yeah, that one there is very catchy. Here's Fajardo, far side. Too much juice for Gittens that time. He went up, tried to haul it in, came down out of bounds. And it'll be a second down here for Cody.
Yeah, big play here on second down. And this is sort of Rankin out of the backfield time. Try and create a little bit of misdirection.
Haven't seen that yet.
Shoot him out to the flat, yeah.
Benjamin Victor is back in this game for Edmonton. Left after going down heavily on a near spectacular catch in the first quarter. 2nd and 10 for Cody. 63% inside the red zone this year. 3 options to his right, 2 to his left. He's going to bounce out of the pocket. Dancing around. Guns one in low, but it's held on to. That's a great catch. Giddens having himself a half here.
Yeah, it really is. He had to go and pull this right off the top of his shoes. I mean, this is a low throw, low and hard. And does he... Little tap on the field. But that looks like a catch and control. And he is having a half. His 4th catch, 81 yards already.
His season high is 95 for a game. He's at 81 already. He's just a tad short, so it's 3rd and 1. Cole Snyder into the game to keep this drive alive. Pushes it straight ahead. That should be enough for an Edmonton first down. And a nice start to the second quarter here for the visitors tonight.
Get 19 back out there.
First down, Elks.
One of the reasons that they're good in the red zone is that play to Rankin out in the flat. Try to bring the receivers down into the middle and see if a linebacker or even a DB can track number 5 to the sideline.
Fajardo, 1st and goal from the 6, up under center. Both of his running backs in the game. He's going to pitch it out to Javon Leak. Leak looking for the end zone. Got it. Touchdown, Edmonton. Javon Leak's first rushing touchdown of the season. And the Elks are on the board. Shit, boy.
Jordan Maksimic, the offensive coordinator, has been using Rankin as a bit of a decoy, and he does on this touchdown too, because it's Rankin that's the fake. And we told you how many times the BC Lions defensively, look how many defenders fill the line of scrimmage to try and stop Rankin. Well, he doesn't have the ball. It's a quick pitch outside, and then Javon Leak uses his speed.
Blanchard straight down the middle, and Edmonton has a 7-2 lead in a game that they simply have to have. It's an 8-play, 69-yard drive. Took just under 5 minutes, and Javon Leak has the end zone.
Well, it is a must-win game for the Edmonton Elks, and they put together an 8-play, 69-yard drive. Took 4:48, already owning the time of possession in the first quarter of this game. Another 4-minute, almost 5-minute drive that ends in a touchdown to Javon Leak, and that's one of the keys to keeping Nathan Rourke off the field and their offense. Put together drives, even if you're not scoring early on, which they didn't in the first quarter. Finally found Pater here early in the second.
Time of possession right now, 15 minutes for Edmonton, 4.5 for the Lions. Here's McGee on the return, takes it just outside the 35. Javon Leak, couple of return touchdowns this year, but nothing on the ground until that one.
You something, dab me up? Oh, I was like, what's going on?
Haven't seen both of those guys in the game at the same time as often as I thought maybe we would this season. But boy, when you've got a decoy like Rankin,
yeah,
it's going to open some things up.
You have to, as a defender in the box, you have to step to Rankin first. Even if it's just one step, that's often enough if you got a fly sweep like that you can't get the angle.
Rourke was red hot going into that bye week. He started tonight 5 of 9 for 79 yards. Goes to Butler. That's Butler's 3rd catch of the game. Puts on the brakes. Mogensen's got him. And he'll get 7 yards on the check down. He leads the team with 3 catches in this one.
Well, the last drive, 2 deep balls that just missed for Nathan Rourke got him off the field real quick. What they need here, the Lions, is a drive. They need to put together a drive. We can start thinking about points or majors or coming all the way back in this one play. Just put together a drive, give your defense a rest on the sideline, see where it ends up.
Second down. He'll hand it off to Butler, picks his way through, and should have a first down for the BC Lions.
One of the biggest games of the season was the second game against Edmonton for James Butler, who had 29 for 171 that game. I mean, no question they can go back to him and lean on him until the Edmonton Elks stop it.
He has had success against Edmonton. Remember that season opener?
Yeah.
4 touchdowns?
Yeah.
Going back a few years, right here at BC Place.
Out there at wideout right now.
It's empty for Rourke. Goes over the middle. And he does have McInnes for a first down. That'll move the chains with 12 yards.
Curl route for Justin McInnes. Taking some hits after those catches.
Almost has 70 yards already in this one.
Coaches will tell you, though, as a receiver, you're going to get hit either way. So you might as well catch it.
Even if you don't hold on, you're still going to get hit.
Yeah.
Back to Butler. And you get some positive yardage to Blanco. Hubert in on the tackle after a 3-yard pickup for Butler. This BC offense has been something else so far this year. They are averaging 428.5 yards per game. That is the most we have seen since Calgary, and you got to go back 15 years for that.
It took a little time, but Buck Pierce and Nathan Rourke are certainly on the same page now.
2nd and 7. Edmonton sends 4. Rourke looking around. Now he's going to heave one down the field. Just a tad too much. Trying to find Hatcher. And I'm telling you, he just missed him.
That's 2 with Hatcher now. And another deep one that was just barely missed. That one to Berryhill. So taking shots, obviously they feel like they've got the matchups they want, or at least the coverages they want. You can see the inside leverage that Keon Hatcher had and just couldn't catch up to it. I wonder how much coming off the bye week and just maybe losing a little
rusty.
Little bit of rust on this offense right now, but full credit to the Edmonton D.
Is taken at the 15-yard line. 33-yard kick. Giddens to return that one. BC Lions offense still held off the board. Just 2 points from a safety. Just a bit too far for Hatcher. Well, let's flash it back to the East Final last year. Cody Fajardo and Julian Grant's big game against the Argos. That connection has continued here in Edmonton. For more on that, back down to Blake Price.
Guys, after 4 seasons of missing the playoffs, the Elks have done a marvelous job of injecting new blood, but winning blood into this lineup. There's the ex-Argo contingent, but then there's those ex-Alouettes as well, and Cody Fajardo and Keon Julian Grant. And those 2 guys bring with them some chemistry. Julian Grant now has had a couple of big drops this season, none bigger than the one versus Hamilton in early August. But Cody Fajardo says he can lean on Julian Grant. He can get on him a little bit, and because of their chemistry, they got through that. And now a guy like Julian Grant is leading the team in receiving yards, yards per catch, receiving touchdowns, not to mention that 6-3 record for the Elks since the drop versus the Tiger Cats.
And he's also the only player to have a 100-yard receiving game for Edmonton this season.
Well, what I loved about it, too, and the journey this year for number 11 was Julian Grant that drop in Hamilton, came back and got the winning touchdown against Montreal when Cody Fajardo and the Elks go back to Cody's old team and beat them there.
Javon Leak in for this drive, picked up 6 yards on that first down carry, and he's got a first down on this one. This is the second drive of the game that we've seen Javon Leak come in.
Yeah, it is a little more than normal from Jordan Maximic, former offensive coordinator for the BC Lions, now back home with the Edmonton Elks. And I'm wondering, let me get Blake on this too to make sure that Justin Rankin is okay. We're seeing more of Leak than we normally have over the last few weeks.
Fajardo to his right, one-on-one, down the field, trying to find Julian Grant, but multiple flags. Jackson Finley, the rookie, is going to be called for pass interference here.
Yeah, there was early contact. He looked like...
Pass interference, BC number 33. Spot of the foul, automatic first down.
Yeah, there's no question there was early contact on this deep route. Finley's right here, and he's just going to drop deep in the quarters, basically a cover 4. He sees the deep route and reacts to it well, but he just gets there early, and it's Julian Grant that draws the penalty.
35-yard swing on the PI. Rankin back in the game at running back in behind Fajardo. 1st and 10 from the BC 43. And they'll give it to Rankin. Pushes it ahead, and it'll be a very comfortable second down here for Edmonton's offense. Good pickup from Rankin, and that will give him a 1,000-yard season.
And he's fine. Wondering about Javon Leak playing on offense a bunch, and Rankin comes right back out, gets his 1,000 yards. There's the group that he now joins. James Butler, one of them. We're seeing 2,000-yarders tonight. Brady Oliveira adding to his total before our game tonight. A.J. Ouellette was resting. Did not rest for that game earlier tonight.
Rankin also has 630 yards through the air. This time, though, can't find what they need on second down. And that'll be 3rd down and a field goal attempt coming for Blanchard, who missed one in the first quarter.
But that PI got the field goal position they needed. And right now, Cody Fajardo, that steady hand again, that leadership that he told us over the phone calls we had with him this week about his formula in his head. Now, it doesn't always work, and give credit to the opponent when you lose a game, but he said, you know, there's a formula that I built in my head that I understand what's necessary to win. It doesn't always happen, but so far on the road, defense holding Nathan Rourke and that offense down, and Cody Fajardo again not turning the ball over.
Timeout, Edmonton.
Edmonton called a timeout.
Timer, please reset the clock to 3:01.
Blanchard missed from 44 earlier, and this will also be from 44. Call that timeout as the play clock had ticked down.
I'm going to get that ball snapped in time.
If he hits this, the lead would go to 8. Jake Julian to hold. Blanchard looking to dial it back in here for Edmonton. That one is up, and this time he's got it. No doubt about it from Blanchard. Edmonton on the road in a must-win situation, leading the red-hot BC Lions 10-2.
We're going to talk how the Elks are keeping a real good tight noose on Nathan Rourke, and then it's going to be everyone's favorite segment. What is it, Ches?
Strike fire!
And also shout out to our friend Kate Burness, who's about to go to the Baltimore Marathon. You would do that, right? Wouldn't you? On the couch.
Halftime coming up. Another handoff to Butler. Gets 4 yards there on first down. His 6th carry of the ball game. Well, I'm not going to the marathon.
Yeah, me neither.
No, okay, so we got that straight.
Well, I mean, Kate's already doing it.
Yeah, no,
And so nobody else needs to.
Yeah.
So that's okay. Two and a half to play here. Rourke, 99 yards so far through the air. Edmonton will send 5. Rourke gets it away. And good timing from Cordell Jackson as he breaks up that quick pass to McInnes. And another 2 and out. In BC's possession so far, it'll be 5 punts and a fumble.
Yeah, I mean, and, you know, the Elks are earning this. I mean, talked about them coming back and taking the ball away. Cordell Jackson gets another big play. And that's a big play on second down. I mean, Nathan Rourke can't get any traction with his offense. 77 defensive tackles for Cordell Jackson. Leads his team.
3 2-and-outs for the Lions. Big kick this time. 52-yarder. Lee takes it. Far sideline. Found a little bit of space. Special teams. Mentioned Cordell Jackson. This is a bit of a weird one, but it ended up in the end zone. Right place, right time for Cordell Jackson here.
Yeah, playing on the teams as well, so contributing on special teams. This was in a punt return situation. Ball bounces everywhere. Cordell Jackson scoops it, and he goes and scores with it. 91 defensive plays he's made this year in about 3 or 4 different positions. So he's got great versatility, and he just got a nose for the football. He's around it.
Most outstanding defensive player for that team, I think, this season. So Edmonton with a lead, gets the ball back once again. 1st and 10 from their own 23. We'll get it to Julian Grant. That's not going to go anywhere. Redwell broken up immediately on the play. And all over it. Loss of 7.
Yeah, Bradley Anai is going to just play his gap, get up the field, and he's right where Julian Grant's trying to go. I mean, he just cuts him off at the path.
So it's a 2nd and long for Fajardo. And he finds 17 and keep a drive going here late in the half. Rankin will flare out in the slot. Fajardo's right. They're going to bring some heat. Cody gets it away. Finds O.J. Allaire. Pretty good pickup, but it won't be the 17 that they needed. And Edmonton will be forced to kick it back to Rourke and the Lions offense with about a minute and a half remaining in this ballgame.
No, but this is the only choice that he had because the Lions were going with blitz. Mike Benavides decided to send the blitz, and Cody Fajardo is going to throw into it, coming off that right side from the secondary. That's the vacated spot. So that's the hot throw he has to take. It just didn't have enough to get the first down, but it was the safe throw, and that's exactly what he's explaining. They sent some halfback pressure. We threw into it. Didn't quite get it.
Time ticks down in the first half. 2nd 2-and-out of the game for Edmonton. Julian just got that one away. Way up. Scoreboard level. McGee takes it just inside the 25, 58-yard kick. McGee spins ahead, but he is tracked down and held onto on the play. Isaiah Knight with the special teams tackle. Halftime coming up. Shinetti and the straight fire crew. They're ready to go.
Who on that group is running a marathon?
Milt as fast as he possibly can.
Milt could do it. Definitely Milt could do it. I don't know if Enoch might be in my group watching.
Shinetti seems like a bit of a marathon runner.
Yeah, he's been in the.
He's a real gym rat.
Yeah, he's been around the gym a little bit.
All right, Rourke, can he find something here late in the half? Wants to throw, gets it away, has Hatcher, and Hatcher out to the 50. That's how you start a drive late. Hatcher's got it. Just his 2nd catch of the ball game.
Yeah, it was a good catch, too. I mean, Rourke puts it right on him, but it's got a bit of a wobble to it because he pump fakes. So he's going to pump fake here, reload, got a bit of a wobble on it, but no problem for Keon Hatcher.
Rourke rolls to his right, gets it away, and that is hauled in by Berryhill, his first catch of the ball game. Just under a minute to play. That one goes for 12.
So you always talk about adjustments. That was adjustment from Buck Pierce getting him on the roll.
Lions are going to move quickly from the Edmonton 47. Elks send 4. Rourke has time. Gets it away. Berryhill again. He's got another first down. And he steps out of bounds. And the BC Lions offense starts to roll.
Quick out by Berryhill. And again, just a quick double take to make sure that J.J. Ross had opened up and was not able to cut underneath that. And then a couple of darts from Nathan Rourke.
Lions could really salvage a lackluster half here if they can find the end zone before the second quarter ends. Rourke looks to his right, now over the middle, now dumps it off to Butler. Butler down to the 30, his 4th catch of the ball game. That's team high, and he gets 5 on the play with 42 seconds on the clock. Four receivers, wide side right for Rourke. They'll hand it off to Butler. Butler trying to find the first down. And it looks like he might be spotted just short. 34 seconds on the clock.
The issue with Buck Pierce there, if it's a little bit short, is the time. Not worried about getting a couple of inches. He's looking at the clock.
Rourke keeps it himself. Barlow and Logan will make the tackle. Picks up the first down. 29 seconds left to work. Injured Elk on the field.
Actually, looks like a legit injury.
That is Brinkman reaching for his left leg. Couple of sacks this year, 22 tackles. Had a sack last week, actually, as Mark Killam watches on. And the athletic therapist out here to take a look at Brinkman.
Well, J.C. Sherritt's group has done an unbelievable job against this high-powered BC offense in this first half. And the question is, can they maintain that for another half and keep their playoff hopes alive? But it's been a great first half for this defense.
For most of this first half, the crowd here at BC Place has just sat here stunned.
Yeah, and you know, I will say that Rourke missed 3 deep balls by inches. However, every time McInnes or any one of these guys have got the ball in their hands, they're getting hit.
Brinkman is up, walking off with a bit of a limp. Tyreek Johnson will check into the game, lining up next to Robbie Smith. Noah Taylor on the other side of that defensive line. Here's Rourke from the pocket, down the field, zips one in there to McInnes, and he's able to hold on for a first down right at the 5.
Said this many times about Nathan Rourke, and thinking back to 22 about how quick his recognition is and his processing speed.
First and goal from the Edmonton 5. They will give it to Butler. Butler trying to push it ahead, and he's in. Touchdown Lions! James Butler pushes his way through, and BC's offense finds a way late in the half.
So the weatherman scores for the Lions, and it's all of a sudden a little brighter and sunnier in that locker room at halftime for BC, because they didn't do much offensively in this first half until this drive right here.
You were waiting all night for that one.
I was hoping for that
one. They will go for 2 and look for a tie at 10 here. It was an 8-play, 78-yard drive that took just over 2 minutes. Nathan Rourke all of a sudden quickly up to 163 yards in the half. Can they find 2 more? Butler will stand in to his left. Hatcher as well. Now Hatcher and Berryhill will slide over to the right. Rourke gives it to Butler right up the middle. How about a couple more for Butler? 10-10. Got a game at BC Place.
And if you're just joining us, we showed you earlier in the first quarter James Butler doing the news locally here in Vancouver, and he was on for the weather and not only scores the touchdown on the only drive for the BC Lions offense in this first half, but he also gets the two-point convert. First contact right at the goal line, and Weatherman's doing okay.
Butler 13 offensive touches in the half, 73 total yards on the ground and through the air, and a touchdown to boot. So the Lions, who struggle offensively up until that final drive, now likely head to the locker room tied at 10. Edmonton on the road trying to keep their season alive, probably take that, considering what we thought about this game coming into it.
And again, you want to be close within one possession going into the fourth quarter if you're the visiting team. So nothing to panic about just yet.
Low driving kick. Leak will take it just inside the 20. Spins his way out beyond the 30 with 6 seconds remaining in the half. Now, a little bit more to talk about for Shinetti and the panel at halftime. Big drive late there. Rourke now 12 of 18 for 163.
Well, it's gonna feel different for Edmonton. You know, they had a really good first half going here, especially defensively, as we've talked about. But you know, now tied up, going in at half. Mark Killam has seen this story a couple times, and you think back to that trip to Ontario where they played Toronto and Hamilton, had leads in both of those games, and lost on walk-off field goals back-to-back games. I mean,
if they lock those ones in, this is a battle for a home playoff date, possibly, right? A couple more wins on the board. I'll just hand it off. That time to Rankin. Justin Rankin, just 21 yards. Just over 20 yards in the half.
But having said that, you know, 10-10 at the half on the road. Last place team in the division, still scratching and clawing to try and stay in the fight. At 10-10, you're thinking, okay, guys, like, we're doing some good things on defense. And get that running game going a little bit better in the second half with Rankin and Javon Lee both in the backfield. But it won't feel like that because of that late score by James Butler.
One more to Rankin. And that'll do it for the first half of the second half of our Friday Night Football doubleheader. Tight win for Winnipeg earlier on, and a tight one here between the Lions and the Elks. I wonder if that final drive gets rid of a little bit of the rust maybe that we saw on Rourke early in this game.
Yeah, certainly give them a little bit of confidence again. Just say, okay, now we're back in our groove, and Nathan Rourke threw 3 real tight spirals to his receiving core to set up this run by James Butler to make it within 2.
And Butler is standing by with Blake Price.
James, some tough sledding for the offenses there to start the half. What do you make of all that?
Yeah, it's getting off to a slow start. We know that we're better than what we're showing right now, so we just got to get back into it. It takes one play at a time and just execute better.
Think that rhythm in the last drive will get you there?
Yeah, for sure. You know, we know how important momentum is, and I feel like that's just a huge momentum. We're getting the ball back at half. Just try to go try one play at a time, go try to score.
And what's the forecast for that second half, Mr. Weatherman?
A win. Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's send it back to Matthew Shinetti and the panel, guys.
Well, Blake, about 2 minutes ago, we were really praising what Edmonton's defense was doing. Then Jarrett Brinkman goes down, and then James Butler goes ahead and evens the score up, especially after that 2-point conversion. And now Enoch Mwamba, Davis Sanchez, and Milt Stegall are all looking at the Edmonton Elks going, They got to produce again in the second half, but that offense, that 8-play, 70-yard drive from BC's offense just changed the complexion of that half.
2 minutes. It took 2 minutes. And for the most part, that first half, it was really all Edmonton Elks. But this offense is so lethal. It's so explosive. Coming into this week, they had 2,000-yard receivers and 1,000-yard rushing running back. So they can put up points. Oh, I forgot to mention, Nathan Rourke at quarterback. So this is an offense that is definitely dangerous. And this Edmonton Elks did a good job so far. But when they get going the way that they did at the end of the half right there, it's absolutely tough to guard them and to defend them. And they're going to have to stop the momentum that's going into BC Lions' favor right now after the halftime and take back control of this game. It's a tall task for this defense, but this is a dangerous team. And James Butler is playing his role, and he's doing a great job. It's just so many weapons everywhere.
And Edmonton Elks, I'm sure they're not happy with what happened, especially into that half. You know, they had a great opportunity to go in the half with some momentum. They gave up that long drive and that touchdown. But for the most part, they've had a pretty good half defensively. You're playing against the best offense in the CFL as far as points, as far as total yards, passing yards, arguably the best player, Nathan Rourke, a great running back, and James Butler. And so far, they've done a pretty good job. It's a 10-10 game, but they can't get complacent. They got to come out in this second half. They got to try to regain that momentum. If I'm correct, the BC Lions will have the ball this opening drive, so they can't let them regain that momentum and drive down the field. We know how powerful Nathan Rourke is. We know what that receiving core, what they can do. So these Edmonton Elks are in a good position. This is a must-win for them. So this half is the most important half of their season, and they got to come out in this first drive and regain that momentum.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this game, we talked about the shootout. We talked about offense trying to keep up, and in particular, Edmonton trying to keep up with this BC offense, Nathan Rourke. Really, if you look at the last month, this Edmonton defense, it was Winnipeg is first at the fewest amount of touchdown drives allowed, and Winnipeg is first, and then it goes BC and Edmonton. So really, defenses that we thought weren't great the last month have really tightened up. And we're looking at two of the top 3 defenses in the league when it comes to allowing touchdown drives. So kind of what we should have expected. And they're playing solid defense. We thought we might have seen a shootout.
Do you think that we've seen them over the last month. Whatever happened, obviously, in Toronto and Hamilton, those late losses, but they had their backs against the wall against the Rough Riders, and they won. Had backs against the wall against Winnipeg, and they won. Is there a point where it can be too much, where the pressure of having to win and have your back against the wall again and again and again can be exhausting?
Not at all. Not at all. When you get into this to this position, you're a professional athlete, this is part of the job. And they dug themselves into this hole, and they're trying to dig themselves out. And I think, I agree. I want to see the Elks in the playoffs. I'm not saying who I don't want to see in the playoffs, but I definitely want to see the Elks in the... My producer just said the Bombers. Our producer, Jamie Rydell, just said the Bombers. I did not say the Bombers. I just said I want to see the Elks in the playoffs.
That's a good way of trying to shuffle out of the way, Winnipeg.
They're young, exciting, and playing good football down the stretch. So, yeah, maybe add an extra team in the playoffs.
No, 7 of the 9 teams make it?
Team?
No, we're not going to do that.
I mean, it's such a huge story from where they came from.
Yep.
They're right on a high. And you don't get tired from playing games like that and winning.
Well, the Edmonton Elks need big plays. And speaking of big plays, after the break, what do we have, boys?
Straight fire!
You were by my side when we stumbled in the dark. I know we'd be alright. I know we would be alright. 'Cause if we lost our minds and we took it way too far, I know we'd be alright. I know we would be alright if you were by my side. We stumbled in the dark. I know we'd be alright. We would be alright.
Well, it's playoff time in football across the country, and if we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, that means we're getting to the best plays of the regular season across the country, and that means we got to highlight it in what we call Straight Fire! Enoch, light us up. Go.
Let's go. St. James Lions receiver Ben Cummings. Look at this throw. Oh, my goodness. Look at him.
Go! Straight Fire!
That's a long word.
My goodness.
What a grab.
What you got, Big?
All right, let's go to Chatham, Ontario, and watch this quarterback, Sawyer Emmett. What's he going to do when he gets the ball? Well, he's going to spin. He's going to juke. He's going to cut it back. And he's going into the end zone. That's a spin. That's a juke. That's a cut it back. That's a give me the football, breaking angles. Well, Sawyer Emmett, you are straight fire.
All right, let's go to the greatest city in Canada. What happens to be what, fellas?
Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Oh, say it with some more enthusiasm. That's what I'm talking about. St. Paul's High School, Sam Oponobi. Is that how you say it, Shanetti?
Opanubi.
Opanubi. Look at him going to the house. He's running faster than the cars that are going by. And that right there, fire.
Watch this is the Handley Sabres, and watch Brady Anderson with his catch.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a great catch. Watch the defender, number 22. He looks around like, what is going on here? What happened?
He grabbed it and then picked his pocket.
I'll tell you what happened, 22. You made straight fire! Hey, he made it.
Thank you, everybody. Remember, if you want to send in your clips, we're getting into playoff time for Straight Fire. Send it to straightfire@bellmedia.ca. Bring them in, and we're going to show you all the football plays across the country, Canada. And as we get close to the second half, it's 10-10. That's how fine the margins are. The Elks, though, they got to win.
Straight fire!
Friday Night Football continues. Second half of our doubleheader is tied at 10. Curly Gittens Jr. standing by with Blake Price.
Curly, we thought maybe a close one, but not 10-10 perhaps. We thought more offense. What did you think of that opening half?
I thought it was good football on both sides. You know, our defense played their butts off the first half, and we just got to find a way to keep it going.
How did that chemistry work with you and Cody? He seemed to find you a lot.
It's building. It's there. You know, football. You know, every game got its own story, and you know, we're just focused on this game and you know, playing winning football here.
Thanks for this. Good luck in the second half.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Curly Gittens Jr. with 4 catches for 81 yards of Cody Fajardo's 104 passing yards. What else jumps off the page there for you, Sue?
Well, what jumps is 104 yards passing for Cody Fajardo, and yet the time of possession is really lopsided. A couple of 2-and-outs in that first half for Nathan Rourke and the offense until that final drive. But you want to, as I mentioned a couple times, keep it a one-possession game going into the fourth. That's the goal for Edmonton and a must-win situation.
BC will have the ball to start the second half, and we are underway. Tied at 10. Edmonton needs a win to keep their playoff hopes alive. This will be brought back. Carter Jr. spins off a man. Little side step, trying to find some space. Won't get there eventually. Hubert makes the tackle, and Nathan Rourke will get us started here in the half.
So how much can they build on that last drive to end the half that ended with a touchdown to James Butler on the ground? And Nathan Rourke, 3 real good throws in that drive. A couple to Hatcher. I think he had McInnes on one. See if they can build on that final drive.
It was an 8-play drive, went almost 80 yards. Butler will slide out. Now come back in. Rourke wanted him. Now he tried to fight him. Some pressure in his face. And it'll be 2nd and 10 as the first pass of the half is incomplete.
Defender right in the throwing lane for Nathan Rourke. He had to change the arm angle here, and when he did, even though it was just a flat pass to James Butler, Barlow gets up in that throwing lane, or DeBlanco, and he has to change the arm angle and just misses him.
Just 2 for 9 on second down conversions are the Lions so far in this one. Elks will send 5. Rourke trying to hang in there. Gets it away and broken up. Ford makes the play, working against Hatcher. Knocks it down, his 4th knockdown of the season.
Hasn't been the year for Tyrell Ford like he had last year in Winnipeg. However, he's got that great closing speed and excellent composure on this drive to time up that arm coming down. Because he's on a dig route, and we've seen pass interference called many times on those kind of routes, but he doesn't pull from the left hand and times up that right hand swipe perfectly.
4th 2-and-out of the ball game for the Lions. Leak slides over to his right, takes it cleanly at the 25, a 51-yard kick. Leak trying to find a little bit of space, but he's wrapped up from behind on the play. Riley Pickett in on the tackle there. Let's take a look at Giddens so far in this game. 4 catches, 81 yards. Definitely the go-to guy for Fajardo so far.
Yeah, working on a season high. This is how the game started. That was the very first throw of the game to Giddens over the middle and turned into a field goal attempt that was missed early in that first quarter. But Fajardo, once again, protecting the ball well, will take a sack if he has to not force it into coverage. His favorite target was Giddens.
Carter O'Donnell is out of this game, will not return with a head injury. Tavai on the defensive side, out as well, taken away, intercepted, see you later, touchdown BC. Robert Carter Jr., 50-yard pick 6, and a possible dagger to the Elks' playoff hopes.
They ran this play early in the first half, and Cody Fajardo completed one deep on the sideline. This is a very deep out, and a curl sitting right there on the top, and Carter jumps it, and there is no one catching Robert Carter Jr. from there.
Cody Fajardo, I believe, had gone 100. Yeah, coming into the game is 172 passes without an interception. It's 185 up until that point. And when he finally throws the interception, it's the second longest streak in franchise history. But he throws the interception right into the hands of Robert Carter. He's got his team leading 5th INT of the year, and a backbreaker for Edmonton. This Carter is a sensational player, though. Had that highlight reel INT earlier in the year. He'll love this one as well, because that's a touchdown the other way for Robert Carter Jr.
I'll get you good.
Well, it looks like when you take a look at this route from Benjamin, Victor, he runs a curl like that, and I think Cody Fajardo thought he was going to break the other way. Look at where this ball is directed to. It's right to the numbers. Carter's going to jump it, but that in cut, it looks like the ball was thrown right to that outside number, like you want him to either bang back outside or run the straight out.
Here's Javon Leak on the return, looking for some field position, and a flag at the end of the play. So a good return and the penalty, and this should be good field position for Edmonton.
Major foul, late hit out of bounds. BC number 17. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Late tackle. Looked like Javon Leak was well out of bounds. Robert Carter now has 5 interceptions on the season, and maybe the most spectacular in a long, long time. And now he's added a pick 6 to it. And can Cody Fajardo shape that one, whether it was a receiver or just the ball placed in the wrong spot? Carter takes it to the house.
After the penalty, this one starts on the 45. They'll give it to Rankin. Contained for the most part tonight, and contained again.
Well, it was quite a streak going. 6 games. What was it, 170 plus attempts without an interception, 172 coming in, and 13 added to that total tonight until Cody Fajardo throws his first interception. And Vancouver fans will know Michael Riley got his first opportunity right here in BC and ended up a champion in Edmonton.
And he wore great hats. Here's Fajardo in trouble, trying to escape, and he will not.
credit.
I don't know who's going to end up getting credit for that one.
Levi Bell's in there, but I'm wondering if Matthew Betts gets there. He's been on such a roll, it's almost like it's just happening for him. Betts is down here at the bottom. That was Levi Bell coming from the opposite side. Betts was across from him.
They're going to give it to Bell. 3rd and 12. Edmonton's offense is going to stay on the field from the BC 47.
Yeah, these are the decisions we were talking about.
Try to stay aggressive here. Fajardo looks to his left. Deep drop. Hit as he throws. Incomplete. Matthew Betts got there just as Cody let that ball fly. Turnover on downs.
What a rush off the edge by Betts.
Betts has been on fire. 10 sacks in his last 4 games. No sack this time, but the pressure was certainly there.
Well, Mark Killam told us that he might do some things that are unconventional because of the situation that Edmonton's in. This is 3rd and 12. Matthew Betts off the edge. Ivy holds him. It would have come back anyway because of the holding. But he gets to Cody Fajardo. Does not complete that. They did it last week on 3rd and 2. And that's when Justin Rankin took it to the house. 3rd and 12 is a little different.
A little bit different. So pick 6 and then a turnover on downs to start the half. Rourke dumps it off to Horvath in the game at running back, and a big burst down inside the 25. Horvath, when given opportunities, has taken advantage of it so far this year, and he did it again.
What a great combination of size and speed from Horvath. That big game he had against Calgary, but it's a big guy. It's almost like defenders don't really want to tackle him, but he can run.
6'3", 230. Another big play for BC, their second of the game. That's gone over 30 yards. Butler will stand in to the right of Rourke. Rourke waits. Wanted to escape. Now he's going to throw. Looking for McInnes, who is working against Ford. Too high, falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
Tyrell Ford with another well-covered, long, developing crossing route from Justin McInnes. And you can see Rourke was under a little bit of pressure, had to reload a couple of times, got his feet right and just overthrew the target, but Ford was right there.
So a 2nd and 10 from the Edmonton 23. McInnes in the slot up to the right of Rourke. Hatcher slot to his left. Rourke looks to his left, throws in that direction. Found Hatcher. There's a flag on the play.
Happened really quickly after the snap of the ball in the area of the holding.
Holding, BC number 50, 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Dejon Allen back off the injured list, missed most of the season. Really good inside move, and he just tackles Brennan Barlow. Boy, it's a good time for the Lions to get their 2 star tackles back in the lineup, Jarrell Broxton and Dejon Allen.
Make things a little bit easier for Rourke. Dumps it off to Butler. Butler on a 2nd and 20. Gets popped by Mogensen. It's Butler's 5th catch of the ball game. He actually leads the team in that category. That'll bring him 3rd down, and Sean White will come out for a field goal attempt.
A more comfortable field goal. Good decision by Rourke to, take the check down, take that little swing pass out to James Butler, even though they've got 2nd and a long way to go. Want to force it, turn the ball over.
Sean White, outstanding season once again. Just under 95%. This one will be just inside 38 yards. And as steady as she goes, right down the middle from Sean White. Great season, especially as of late for that man, Matthew Betts. Welcome back to Vancouver. We're going to take an extremely dramatic look at the Matthew Betts story, aren't we?
The path for the superhero. Through Laval, stop in Edmonton, third overall pick. And 18 sacks in 23, 10 in the last 4 games, 14 to lead the season.
9 over that 3-game stretch. Allaire trying to set up a screen on the far side of the field. Nowhere to go.
Right out of the gate. A couple of big plays from this BC Lion defense that has really turned the corner. I mean, this was the issue early in the season. You go back to June, July, this team was struggling defensively. Struggling getting key stops, giving up tons of yardage. And then Matthew Betts arrived and got that form back from 23. A couple of big plays from Robert Carter. Remember the Hamilton one-hander?
Yeah, ridiculous.
I mean, unreal.
Second and long. Fajardo. Can he find anybody? Escapes some pressure. Now he's on the run. Tried to get it to Julian Grant. Kent Jr. was in his back pocket. Would have been well short of the first down. And BC Lions defense gets it done again.
So 3-game stretch in July, and they were giving up this BC defense 452 yards over those 3 games. 8 big plays, the explosions, 9 touchdowns. Look what they've done the last 3 weeks of this season. 12 quarterback sacks, 7 interceptions, and have taken over 100 yards, the length of the field per game, off of what they were giving up on defense. Just turn the corner.
We know the offense certainly can fire on all cylinders, but it was always like, yeah, but what about the BC Lions defense?
Yeah.
And now the defense has dialed it in, which makes them very dangerous the rest of the way.
You know, and it's I don't think it's a coincidence that Levi Bell joins the group. And, you know, even though not a lot of information on him early on, he was coming out of his tryout in Seattle, signed in August. He was a big one. You know, Josh Woods finally sort of got back to form.
He got healthy.
Yeah. Working on that knee. And then the add to TJ Lee. I mean, I think that leadership in the secondaries, that's big.
They'll hand it off. Horvath on the carry. A couple yards, maybe 3 on that first down up the middle. It has been 18 points in a row for the BC Lions. They were once trailing 10-2 late in the half. And since then, they've hung 18 on Edmonton, and Edmonton hasn't been able to answer.
Well, they got it to a 2-possession game, which is the key. How many possessions does it take for me to come back and either tie or win?
2nd and 7. Rourke, Eberhardt, first down out to the 40. First catch of the game for Eberhardt. Ford makes the tackle. 15 yards to number 19 in orange and black.
Yeah, I think Eberhardt thought this was a low hit from Terrell Ford, but a lot of go.
Rourke under pressure, finds a path to escape, and now he's going to take off. There's a flag on the field. Rourke all the way down to the 20. Rourke to the 10, looking for the end zone. Got it! The remarkable Rourke strikes again. A 70-yard scamper all the way to the end zone. Are you kidding me, Nathan Rourke?
He's checking what I'm looking at, and there is a flag.
Contact. Edmonton number 23. That penalty will be declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
There you go. How that speed. Leads all quarterbacks rushing the football. Almost 500 yards coming into this game tonight. And he had some breakaway tailback type speed when he got in the open field. Barlow up, chases him out of there, and then look at this acceleration, and he outruns the angles. Those are DBs trying to catch him. That's Tyrell Ford.
His 10th rushing touchdown of the season in style for Nathan Rourke. And that blows this thing wide open. Sean White knocks another one through. BC on top, 27-10. Nathan Rourke, 70-yard house call. And the BC Lions are in full control. As soon as he found that hole, bye-bye, see you later. Not gonna catch that guy. The truth doesn't take sides, lawyers do. The Rainmaker, all new Saturday at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on USA Network. And of course, you can stream it the next day on Crave.
Well, that's just some great open field speed, and one of the reasons that this team has only allowed 18 sacks is this ability to avoid the pass rush for Nathan Rourke. And then once he gets in the open field, no one is catching him. Not even one of the fastest DBs in the league in Tyrell Ford. That's the longest run of Nathan Rourke's career so far.
Previously, it was at 51. That goes for 70 and a touchdown. 25 unanswered points from the BC Lions. They lead by 17. And Rourke's MOP caliber season continues. That one would be on a highlight reel at the end of the year for sure. Leak on the return will step out of bounds, and now a big uphill climb for Cody Fajardo and the visitors here tonight.
Well, now Cody Fajardo is going to have to get even more aggressive, and now you're chasing the score. More aggressive down the field doesn't mean that you ignore your star players in Justin Rankin or Javon Leak, but it's going to have to start pushing the ball.
Rankin just 32 yards. Held to those numbers. That's been a recipe for a loss so far this year. Now they'll get it to Julian Grant. He's got room for a first down. Midfield is where he steps out. They'll give him 17 yards and a drive starter there for Fajardo. Two hottest teams in the league in the second half of the season clashing here tonight in Vancouver. And Edmonton's defense held strong, but big turnover at the beginning of the half has given a lot of momentum to the Lions. They haven't looked back just yet. Takes the handoff. Now looks down the field, trying to find Gittens. Carter Jr. was all over that once again.
Talk about closing speed. I mean, Robert Carter Jr. makes up some ground here. That came from the other side, and he almost had another spectacular catch. Wants to go ahead and get the lead in the league.
He is quick. They use him in the return game a little bit as well. 2nd and 10 for Fajardo. BC's going to bring some pressure. Fajardo gets it away, and O.J. Hilaire goes up and gets it. He'll be about a yard short. That's his 3rd catch of the game. Pretty nice grab there from Hilaire.
Yeah, real good catch from Hilaire, who runs that slant, gets right up to the marker, but just short of the first down, but there's no question they went on 3rd and 12. They're going here.
Old Snyder had come into the game. He's their short yardage quarterback, but then they brought him back out. Cody Fajardo slid back in there. So it'll be Fajardo who looked to pick up a yard here. And he pushes right ahead. He's got it. That's a first down for Edmonton. Keep this drive moving.
In our discussions with Coach Killam. He talked about how there'll probably be decisions made that fly against conventional wisdom. And, there's when your backs are against the wall and you got to try and win, you got to be aggressive. It worked against Winnipeg.
Did he not get there? I thought he had a pretty good burst. They got the ball spotted on the 45.
Well, it was inside of a yard, so he didn't need much.
They're going to say a turnover on downs. I thought the initial push from Cody was well beyond the 44. But BC's defense steps up again. Killam's already reaching for the challenge flag.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Where did he end up?
Well, they're right on the line. You can see where the ball is. I don't think there was any question. He was.
What? Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I'm not even sure why that was an issue. He got 2 yards past where the line of scrimmage was.
Killam wants to challenge it. I mean, they should just look at it and change the spot. It's clearly.
Edmonton is challenging the ruling on the play of forward progress where it was stopped. We'll review the play.
Yeah, I don't, unless our angle didn't show that he dropped the ball or something.
Well, I mean, this ball is spotted at more than a yard short of where it should have been on that first look that we had.
Yeah, Mark Killam comes over with a bit of a smile, like, well, guys, did we not all just see that he got 2 yards in short yardage? Only needed like half a yard.
Yeah, they've already moved the ball a yard and a half.
Yeah, they're gonna make this adjustment.
That was one of the most bizarre spots that I think we've seen all season. All right, let's get this ruling.
All right. After review by the replay center, we're putting the ball at the 43.5-yard line, which will give Edmonton a first down.
Well, crowd doesn't like it here in BC, but this is clearly.
I think if they got a look at it, they'd understand.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, they may have on the big screen here, but a fan is not going to like.
So BC fans not going to go. Yeah, they got it correct in the end. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. But clearly the right decision was made here.
First and 10 from the 43. They'll hand it off to Rankin. And Rankin just hasn't had any room all night. Anai is there again. That's his second tackle for a loss in this game.
Well, they're gap sound, and Benavides has them keyed in to number 5. There's no question. There's Rankin. He's in the backfield. And look at the attention that he's getting. That's 10 of the 12 defenders.
2.5 minutes to play third quarter. They'll clear everybody out. A pass to Rankin. Trying to find some space. There's a burst inside the 35. Cuts it back at the 30. And eventually they find another way to get the ball to Justin Rankin, and he's got a first down.
Yeah, he is the leader in yards from scrimmage, and yards from scrimmage means rushing it and catching it out of the backfield. He just flares out. This is a play designed to get to him because you can see the blocking downfield by the receivers. And get Josh Woods tied up. And then a nice inside cut.
20 for Rankin. Elks trying to find the end zone here to get right back in this football game. Fajardo fakes that handoff, pressure in his face, dumps it off to Rankin. Rankin trying to cut it back. A couple of extra yards there. About half of what they needed. It'll be second and reasonable for Edmonton.
Well, it starts out this play with a play action to Rankin. And then it's designed to allow the D-line and possibly a linebacker to move up the field because now they see he doesn't have it and then drop it off to him. See if you can get him in space. Those are 2 plays specifically designed to get him in space from Jordan Maxim. And the chess match continues.
It'll be empty for Fajardo. 4 out to his right. Looks over the middle. Throws. Finds Gittens. And Edmonton has another first down. 5th catch of the game for Curly Gittens Jr.
Coming on the play by 16, JQ the third. First down Elks.
Curly Gittens in that slot spot. Working on his inside cut. And you see Jackson Finley had come down low, so timing on that throw excellent.
Edmonton back to the red zone. 1 for 1 so far tonight. Fajardo has Rankin to his left, pitches it to him. There's a flag. Rankin busts it down inside the 10. This is going to be coming back on a hold.
I think it was Martez Ivey that was going to be the guilty party here. He's the left tackle at the point of attack.
Holding, Edmonton number 62. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
They want to run this option to the left, and Martez Ivey is going to step up, and then he's saying he didn't do it. That's a pure running play. I think that's we'll call it a soft holding call.
Okay. Play of the drive. Fajardo, a little bit of time, dumps it back off to Rankin. Rankin cuts it back, breaks 1 tackle.
Oh, that first move.
Good chunk back. He's kind of elusive, isn't he?
Well, it's that first move where, it reminds me a little of the Top Gun. The Top Gun where you put the brakes on and they fly right by.
Yeah.
I mean, he puts the brakes on after he catches this little swing, and watch him, and then back away. Josh Woods is kind of like, didn't even get a hand on it. In touch football, he would have got the extra 5.
Final play, 3rd quarter. Fajardo over the middle, end zone, got it, touchdown Edmonton, first of the career for Benjamin Victor, and a sign of life late in the 3rd quarter for the Elks.
All about timing. Blitz coming off the edge, and now can Cody Fajardo get this ball away before he gets hit? He's got a deep post. It's one-on-one with inside leverage, and he just gets it out of his hand. Nice catch by Victor.
Had a highlight reel attempt earlier in the game. Went down hard. This time he hauls it in. It was an 11-play, 71-yard drive that took almost 6 minutes. Blanchard for one more.
Oh, I don't know.
And he got it right over the top. That one was tight. 10-point game as we head to the 4th quarter. Cody Fajardo with bets in his face, trying to keep the season alive for Edmonton. He'll need to do something in the 4th quarter. BC Lions at home heading into the 4th quarter with a 10-point lead, 27-17 over Edmonton. Elks trying to fight and keep their season alive here, Suits.
Yeah, tip of the hat. Whether they can come back and win this game or not. If they don't, they're out. But, a lot of questions in Edmonton. You would know this better than anybody, that, have they turned the corner? Has this team started to rebuild and get back to winning ways? And I think they have. Whether they win this game or not, that touchdown drive proves it again. They're not surrendering. It would be easy to drop your head and just say, okay, we took a good hard run at it. It didn't happen. But they're battling back. And they've been battling back now for 9 straight weeks.
Yeah.
And, I think this team has turned the corner. And the panel mentioned at halftime they'd like to see Edmonton in because of the way they play.
Well, because it's been quite a story. You look at some power rankings across the league. I think I saw them as high as 4th in the power rankings across the league. They have one of the top 2 records in the league since week 9. But they found themselves in such a hole that they've been kind of scraping and clawing. Look at this from McGee. What a return. How many tackles did he break there? Stopped just shy of the 50. That's a hard working return from Seven McGee.
I tell you what, we're getting close to playoffs. We got to be. These guys and the effort that's out there. I mean, breaking tackles. It looked like he was caught 3 or 4 times. And how about this? Just, you know, these type of plays on the teams, they grab some momentum back after the opponent has scored. They've scored, and Seven McGee says, yeah, let me give you a little momentum back. Let's get that offense back out there.
There was a member of the BC Lions banged up on that return. Jacob Bond. Getting chatted with. J.C. Sherritt's defense. If they could find a way to create a turnover here, Suits go a long way.
So how do you do that? I mean, is it a zone look? More turnovers happen when you're playing zone defense because the DBs in zones and linebackers are looking at the quarterback. They're seeing the ball being released, and that's how they can jump it. They don't want guys to start just guessing randomly, or Nathan Rourke will make them pay.
He'll kill you.
Yeah. And if you go with straight pressure, hoping to force an errant throw, you're leaving your DBs in one-on-ones.
Rourke's 15-24, 221 yards, has that 70-yard rushing touchdown.
There it is. Oh.
It was there for the taking. J.J. Ross, who has 3 interceptions on the year, had a crack at that one.
And they played the zone look. So they drop off in zones. And in this zone look, there you see how J.J. Ross is looking back at the quarterback. He's looking at Nathan Rourke. He sees the ball being released, and he has a shot to take it. And Rourke can run, so he might have caught him, but he gets this. It's a foot race to the end zone.
2nd and 10. Rourke way down the field. Waiting for it is Eberhardt, and he's got it. Garnes in coverage. Couldn't knock it away. Another big strike from Rourke.
Garnes comes down from his safety spot to play this being a man look now. So they drop into man, and this is what happens because the DBs can't be looking. They got to stay with their man.
They'll give it to Butler. Mogensen and DeBlanco double team him and take him down.
I mean, you can get an interception in man coverage, but it's much more rare than against the zone. Because as you saw, Garnes was, he was trying to track his guy. He's trying to track Eberhardt on that corner route. Eberhardt bends it back and basically having Rourke throw him open. But in a man-to-man, you can't check back for the ball, or else you lose, you lose the guy you're trying to cover.
2nd and 8. Edmonton's going to bring everybody. Rourke in trouble, spins away, gets it away, and it is intercepted. Taken away. Rourke under pressure, lays it out there, and Brandon Barlow, the defensive lineman, was waiting and got his hands on it.
J.C. Sherritt decides, hey, let's try some pressure and see if we can force an errant throw. Mission accomplished for the Elks.
Rourke has been incredible under pressure tonight, but this one slips away, and Barlow with the INT.
Sending pressure can cause an errant throw, and Barlow's going to come up the field and then drop back underneath it. But Nathan Rourke under the gun with secondary coming. Barlow says, I'm just going to stay back here as the secondary and linebackers go after it, and he just folds underneath that throw.
So mission accomplished from this Edmonton defense. Can Fajardo find another major? Looking for Giddens. Oh, he gets absolutely destroyed by Robert Carter Jr. And Giddens down on the field in pain. Oh, boy.
This will fall under the defenseless receiver category.
Oh.
Led with his shoulder. Timing wasn't the issue, but
there was no flag on the field.
Mark Killam looked right at the official and went to the crowd here in BC just saw the replay on the big screen. I mean, that was...
Well, some members of the Elks coaching staff saw that as well.
I mean, Mark Killam immediately thought it would be under the defenseless receiver category, but I think the timing of this was bang on from Robert Carter. And great to see Giddens get up. That's most important, but led with his shoulder. Didn't get the shoulder to the head. It was the right target.
I mean, as far as the hit being executed,
yeah,
I mean, yeah, he hit him hard. He hit him clean.
Timing is there. Watch, the ball just arrives and shoulder to chest.
Oh.
That's a biggie.
Can't hit anybody harder than that. Fajardo now, pressure coming, rolls out of it, looking down the field. Can he find anybody? Cody's going to try to do it himself, and he does. First down, Edmonton, as Fajardo uses his legs in a 2nd and long.
Now, almost like he had this predetermined because of this blind turn he's going to make here. He's taking a look. It's 2 steps down the field, but then it's a blind turn. He sees Ane come up the middle on the stunt, and he's out and running.
$23 yards for Fajardo tonight. 1st and 10 from the Edmonton 53. A little bit of a draw play set up here for Rankin. Runs into Woods, among others. Got 6 yards, though, and it'll be 2nd and 4.
A 10-point game. I'm not sure if Mark Killam can't go back to just... this is... Don't like to see that with Justin Rankin limping off.
Devon Leake will check in. Rankin trying to walk it off on the sideline. 2nd and 4 for Fajardo. Julian Grant slides over, slot to Fajardo's left. That's where he's going to throw. And there is a flag. Julian Grant looked like he was tripped by the feet of TJ Lee.
Yeah, this will be accidental pass interference where the legs get crossed up.
Accidental pass interference. Yeah. BC number 6. 10-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
Actually, TJ Lee, the Irish veteran, kind of stuck his leg out there.
He's just a little sort of like, I'm
kind of just a little subtle.
Hey, when you're in 11th year, you got all the little tricks, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And he has made a big difference in the locker room and on the field.
They're going to bring some heat on Fajardo. Doesn't get the ball away. It's stripped. Cordy picks it up. And they avoid complete disaster. But the pressure relentless on Fajardo there.
TJ Lee, as we just talked about the impact he's making after the PI or accidental PI, he comes on the blitz and he goes right through the B gap, gets around the corner, and he's the guy who strips the ball.
They lose 7 yards on the play. They are not within field goal range for Blanchard, I would think. Second and very long. BC only sends 3 this time. Fajardo down the field, picked off. Taken away by TJ Lee, of course. And he stays on his feet all the way back out beyond the 45. First interception of the season for TJ Lee, returning to the only team he's ever known. And he comes up big again. Second interception of the game thrown by Cody Fajardo.
Just like I should, I'll get you good.
God is good. All the glory to God.
Well, what a great idea to bring TJ Lee back in this secondary for the BC Lions. Another takeaway. Fajardo, 2 interceptions today after having 3 all season. And now Rourke connecting with McInnes. Let's take another look at that TJ Lee pick.
Here's the route combination. Little early motion there, and then Gittens is supposed to curl in between the 2 deep routes. It just looks like he doesn't think that he is the primary target or something, because when he turns around, he kind of just gears it right down. Now, that ball was a little bit overthrown anyway, and TJ Lee was in behind and covered, so may have been picked off anyway, but it looked like Curly Gittens kind of turned thinking, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be the primary here or not.
I was partially surprised to even see him after that hit that he took. Pretty hellacious. Now Hatcher down the field. Rourke drops it in there this time. Keon Hatcher inside the 20. His longest catch of the ball game. Just a matter of time until those 2 connected on a deep one.
Yeah, this is just a very, very difficult throw to be accurate on, with a bootleg to the right, put the brakes on, and throw the deep crosser all the way across the field and drop it right over that left shoulder. That's some kind of accuracy from Kid Canada.
Back inside the red zone go the Lions. Horvath in the game at running back. They'll give it to him. Read well by Edmonton. The Blanco blows that one up. Been a good season.
Very good
for him. 71 tackles coming into this one. Couple of sacks.
Well, and, you know, think about this team to start the year. Nick Anderson was the linebacker in that spot. Niles Morgan, Jake Serezna, none of which are playing tonight.
Metier also out. They had to move Garnes back into the safety spot. 2nd and 10. 4 receivers out to that right side for Rourke. Edmonton will send 4. Rourke gets it away. Finds Hatcher. Touchdown, BC. Keon Hatcher does it again. His 8th of the year.
Cordell Jackson, who's going to roll into that safety spot in the middle. I think as soon as he opens up this way, Rourke knows he's going backside to Keon Hatcher. Watch 13, just take a look to that backside or to the front side of the play, and that's when Rourke goes backside to number 4.
Interception from one veteran, a touchdown from another. And Sean White to double up Edmonton here. 34-17, he'll knock it through. Nathan Rourke goes over 300 yards passing on that touchdown to Keon Hatcher. That is the 11th 300-yard game for the Canadian superstar this season.
Here's the route here from Keon Hatcher. In fairness to J.J. Ross, he's got to take outside shoulder. I think he thought Cordell Jackson was going to be in the middle to help him on an inside route, and Cordell Jackson had opened up and had gone to the field side of the play. And when Rourke saw that, he went right back on that leverage throw, and why not to the leading receiver in the league?
Probably a pretty good target to throw to. Leak on the return. Gobbled up by 3 Lions, including Ronald Kent Jr. Now with 7.5 minutes left in their likely playoff hopes. Cody Fajardo back out onto the field. 15 of 27, 184 yards, a touchdown, and just 3 interceptions. Had the best TD to interception ratio in the league coming in, but has thrown 2 today.
And maybe the key up front is that the Lions in their front 7 took away Rankin early and often in this game. And as they got a little bit ahead in the score, Cody Fajardo starts forcing a little more, and now the DBs step in.
Rankin, who limped off the field last possession, is out there. Deep one down the field, taken away again. 3 in 3 games for Jackson Finley. And Fajardo's night goes from bad to much worse.
Talk about football IQs. Jackson Finley, when we talked to Mike Benavides about him, he said, you know, in meetings and training camp, I'd pick a guy in the DB room or on our defense, and I'd say, draw up this particular defense and show me your responsibility. When Finley got that assignment, he drew up all 12. He said, here's where they all go, and if we need to make a check, and Coach Benavides stepped aside, went, okay, he knows his stuff. 3 picks in 3 starts for Jackson Finley.
15th overall pick in just this past draft. 3 interceptions. Now they'll go back to Butler. Butler pushes it ahead, takes it all the way out to the 45. Three interceptions tonight, doubling his total for the season to 6.
Yeah, he's been excellent at protecting the ball and yet still, you know, executing what he needed to win 3 of the last 5 and to go 6-3 over the last 9.
Jeremiah Mazzoli in on the short yardage, pushes it ahead. That'll be a first down. Now you could not draw up a better start to the career for Jackson Finley. I believe I walked into the stadium tonight right behind his family. Or it was another group of 6 people wearing Finley jerseys.
Well, most of his family played in the CFL. His dad, Anthony, his uncle, Brooks, his grandfather, they all played in the CFL. So it's in the DNA, that's for sure.
Rourke, quickly, Hatcher broke a tackle, he's got a first down.
What was Hatcher at? Because he had a couple of targets he was looking for.
He's at 89 now.
Closing into a 100-yard game. I think G-Roy Simon might be just a little bit out of reach. But an important game for the Lions to try and wrap up home field. And that's what they're looking at for the semi. They win both, they win home field.
Butler and Horvath both in there, flanking Rourke. They'll give it to Butler, cuts it back, found some space. Barlow with the tackle, but another really nice pickup on first down for James Butler.
Just love how sometimes Butler will hit the hole and then he'll face the tackler and then make his move. He takes the football here, faces the tackler there, a couple of jump cuts. Another 6 yards picked up.
Great idea for BC to bring back Butler after he's out east for a bit. Fits in very nicely right next to Nathan Rourke. Twice as many yards on the ground for the Lions tonight. Rourke has another completion. This one to Pickett, his fullback. And that's a first down for the Lions as they march the field to seal this one away.
So the Lions win both games. They will host the Western semifinal. Who they play is still yet to be determined. Winnipeg won earlier tonight. Calgary plays tomorrow against Toronto.
They'll give it to Butler. Now with Edmonton bringing some heat, Butler pushes it back to the line of scrimmage and no further. And we hit 3 minutes here in Vancouver. And the BC Lions remain red hot. They've won 4 in a row coming in. This should make it 5. They're up 34-17 at home. Well, a couple of games for you tonight and a couple more tomorrow. Alouettes continuing their pursuit of the Ticats. They'll get the Red Blacks, and the Stampeders will face the Argos. Calgary, with an Edmonton loss here tonight, will clinch a playoff spot, but still lots to be determined on who's going where come playoff time in the West and who's heading out east. Mark Killam had his team fighting down the stretch. They're going to come up short tonight in Vancouver. 2nd and 10. Rourke, elusive once again, takes off and will be taken down by Kenneth Logan Jr. And that'll bring up.
Okay, so if I'm Buck Pierce and there's 2:34 and we're up 34-17, if I'm Buck Pierce, I'm going to just go and talk to Nathan Rourke there and say, okay, I hear you, but if you take another hit like that, you're bringing chicken to the next practice. like, don't put yourself in harm's way with the score what it is now.
Sean White back in one more time. Just one field goal tonight for White. It was from 38 yards. This one from 33. And he makes no mistake, just 2 misses all season for Sean White. Let's give you a look here at this playoff picture.
Yeah, let's take a look. So Edmonton not winning tonight, that does it for them. It was a great push. I think that team has turned the corner. Winnipeg and Calgary are in. We don't know where, which will be in the West. And BC needs to win another game to host the semifinal. We do know that part. Montreal can still take first in the division in the East. So important game for them tomorrow night. I don't know. This is where I start to email Steve Daniel at the league office. Say, okay, could you straighten all this out? And what happens next year in that position for Edmonton? Is Cody coming back?
We'll have to sort that out in the offseason.
Your show's going to be busy.
Well, lots to talk about in Edmonton, yeah, that's for sure. Here's Leak on the return. Nice burst. They'll wrap him up. It's actually Carl Meyer, who got a flag earlier for hitting him out of bounds, makes a clean tackle this time, and Cody Fajardo will trot back out. Just over 2 minutes left. It'll be interesting because Calgary, Toronto tomorrow, if they win that, they go to 10-7, just like the BC Lions. Edmonton could play spoiler for Calgary next week in the race for a home playoff date and the hosting of the West Final.
And the Lions play Saskatchewan, who rested a lot of starters earlier tonight. And we'll see what they do next week, but probably do the same thing.
Fajardo throws that one at the feet of Gittins Jr.
Fajardo a little banged up, and remember, early in this game, he followed through on a throw and hit his hand on his teammate's helmet. And, you know, it's uncharacteristic of him, even in their situation, to throw the 3 picks like he has tonight. He's been so good all year. I mean, as you mentioned, in 9 games, 3 picks, and then doubled that tonight. So I wonder if that thumb is good. And he's taken 3 sacks, too.
Goes back to Gittins. That ball popped out. Gittins is saying he was down. The officials likely waiting for direction here from the replay center. I think Giddens was probably right.
I asked Cody this week, you know, I know you're just concentrating on one game and one play at a time. You see the elbow was down. But what about the future? What do you think about next year? And he said, you know, we're going to talk to the family, but I feel like I'm playing good football. And he has played good football. Trey Ford is the last quarterback to have beaten the BC Lions over the last 3 years.
Fajardo gets this one away. Julian Grant trying to escape, will keep going. Taken down just inside the 35.
That was last year. The starting quarterback for the Lions that game was Dolagala. But he started the season when 1-4 in Edmonton as their starter. Such a tremendous talent physically, and his ability to escape like nothing I've ever seen. But he's got to still grow when it comes to, you know, leading a team, being the guy.
Edmonton having lost 9 of 10 against the Lions. This will make it 10 of 11. Fajardo finds O.J. Hilaire. And he'll find a first down for Edmonton as they drive late here.
But when I talk about turning the corner, I'm sure there's pieces they got to find. They want to find some dynamic down the field type receivers, I'm sure, to come in and continue to build there.
Victor this time will hang on.
Offensive line they can still work on that. Carter O'Donnell, who was knocked out of this game early, had you know, real bright spot in just 5 starts. You know, and I think the secondary has come together in Edmonton pretty well over the last month and a half.
Fajardo looking to the end zone, trying to find Victor. Falls incomplete. Well, what's kind of crazy is that the defense sort of turned a corner.
Yeah.
Well, Niles Morgan was hurt. Well, Jake Seresna was hurt. Well, Nick Anderson was hurt. And you found the Blanco could make some plays. Mogeson has been a great find
Kenneth
so far
Logan
as well. Taylor has had an opportunity to sort of step up. And you mentioned the secondary with J.J. Ross and Cordell Jackson. These are all guys that I think you want back.
Yeah.
And continue to build around.
And remember, J.C. Sherrod, their defensive coordinator, that's all new. So out of the gate early in the season, they were learning a new system.
3rd and 2 for Fajardo. Under pressure, trying to escape. Gets a block. Now he's going to take off. Cody Fajardo, end zone. Touchdown in fitting Fajardo fashion. Finds his way to the end zone late. Clear limp for the last two quarters of this football game.
This is what I mean about turning the corner with this team. They are still battling. They're still going down full speed. That was Matthew Betts that Cody Fajardo fought off to get out in the open field and then dives for the end zone. I mean, no quit in this team.
He's in a lot of pain on that sideline too. Blanchard knocks another one through, and with 52 seconds left on the clock, it's a 13-point ball game.
You know, at the end of the day, you just control what you can, and for Cody Fajardo, he's got a chance to again just show that he's not giving up, he's not quitting. This game is basically in the books, but I hope he's back.
You definitely want to see more of Cody Fajardo, and I think it's working pretty well. And Edmonton allows Trey Ford to continue to learn from him if that is going to be the plan. He'll go to 6-6 on the season in his 12 starts.
Lions need one more win and they will host the semifinal. That game against Saskatchewan, see what they do. And Corey Mace elected to not dress Trevor Harris for this game tonight. So does he do the same thing next week? Or would he like them to get a few reps before they go in, wait for a week, and then have the final?
Blanchard lays his one out there. That'll be picked up by the Lions. And BC, once again, as Sue said, one step closer to locking up a indoors West final. Get Nathan Rourke on this track.
Semifinal, yeah.
At home, yeah, West,
West semifinal, and then we'll have to go play in the cold in the final.
It's nice to get that 1 week, though. Although for BC's offense to be operating indoors there.
Yeah, you know, I looked at the long-range forecast for Regina for the West Final.
Well, you don't want to do that, do you?
Yeah, I just took a check, and you know, I asked James Butler, because you know he's a weatherman.
The weather guy.
Yeah, so I asked him, and you know, it's +4 high, +1 low.
Oh, you'll take that.
Definitely.
Football fans will love that. They'll hand it off to Butler here. A couple more yards for James Butler, who's had an excellent season. I mean, everybody a piece of this BC offense. All these guys have had phenomenal years.
Well, a couple 1,000-yard receivers. Keon Hatcher leading the league in receiving yards. James Butler, 1,000-yard running back. You know, and you talk about if they can beat whomever they're going to play in the semi. Does Buck Pierce look at a Horvath-Butler combination in the cold in Regina in the final?
Horvath's a big guy, and he's averaging like 11 yards per carry when he does get it. Back to Butler here. Butler trying to push it down, takes it to the 25. That'll be a first down for BC right at the end of this football game. But Nathan Rourke's MOP campaign.
Yeah.
Another box check tonight as he has a career-long 70-yard rush. Oh, yeah, and it went for a touchdown. And he throws for 338 yards and a touchdown there as well.
In basically a half, because that Edmonton defense shut them down for almost all of the first half. Of course, he missed a couple of throws.
The first time in his career, Nathan Rourke has won 5 games in a row, and the BC Lions remain red hot down the stretch. Buck Pierce and his club peaking at the right time of year. As for Edmonton, their slim playoff hopes no more.
Nathan Rourke continues to add to the MOP discussion when it comes to the end of the season and awards, but he is more focused on hosting a playoff game. They need to win one more.
After winning just 5 of their first 12 games, the BC Lions have now won 5 in a row and are starting to look like a true contender to maybe win it all. Pretty convincing victory, especially here in the second half at home tonight against the Edmonton Elks. The Elks season will wrap up against Calgary, but their playoff hopes are done. 37-24 your final. SportsCenter is next. Good night from Vancouver.